What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you're new here or you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button right below this video. Also, make sure you give us a thumbs up and like this video, as well as joining the conversation, commenting below and let me know what you think about this video. Now, I do want to say we're doing things a little bit different this week because the Zeus Network dropped the ball yet again. We paying $6 a month for what? Nothing, Zeus, because I'm expecting to review Krishan and Blueface Crazy in Love, and I get up on here, I don't see a new episode, and I go to their Instagram page, and they talking about, we'll be back next week. Like, what the fuck are we paying y'all for? Where is Baddies West? Where is Bad Boys Houston? Where is Krishan and Blueface? Where's Jocelyn's Cabaret Season 4? Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, I want my money back. Seriously, this is bullshit. So I was like, I can't not do anything. I have to give my viewers something. So if you're interested in this video, if you watch The Real Housewives of Potomac, stay tuned. Oop, let me cut my volume down on my MacBook. Stay tuned with this video. We're going to review season 7 episode. I'm sorry, I don't know what the episode is off the top of my head, but it will be included in this video so you'll know what episode this is. I hope you all had a great New Year's Eve. I hope you had a great time. I hope you all were safe. It's been warm where I'm at. It's like almost 70 degrees here, unlike last week when it was Christmas and it was fucking 7 degrees outside and everybody's water froze here. What is going on, MacBook? No, I cut you down. Like, I don't want you beeping like that. So yeah, I hope it's warm wherever you guys are. And we're going to get into this review, The Real Housewives of Potomac. So this episode starts out with Ray and Karen. They show up to the Improv Theater where Karen is doing her show. She's doing a show called The Grande Dame, an evening with the Grande Dame and friends. And her and Ray meet up with Matt, who is Karen's assistant. We've seen Matt in the past on episodes and stuff like that. Now, fun fact about Matt, I was in Atlanta a few years ago and I was on Grindr. And Matt messaged me, swear to God. If I don't even know if they keep messages that far back in Grindr or not, but I wish I would have screenshotted it and saved it. Not like it's a big deal or anything. I mean, who is Matt, really? But Karen's assistant. But just a little fun fact, he messaged me, I literally just said, hey, Matt, I said, and I knew Cynthia Bailey's wedding was going on that weekend. So I said, are you in town for Cynthia's wedding? And he said, yeah, I am. And it was literally small talk. There was nothing sexual. There was no trying to meet up. Because I just, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling him like that. I don't know if that's why he reached out to me. I mean, why else do you reach out to people on Grindr unless you're interested in them? However, our conversation didn't go anywhere. And that was my little fun story about Matt. Now, Karen talks about the things that she's going to do with her show compared to what Giselle and Robin did. So if you remember the last episode, we saw Giselle and Robin do their Reasonably Shady podcast live. And it seemed like from what we saw on TV that the podcast, in my opinion, was sort of a flop. They didn't fill all the seats. It was like half capacity. Karen and Robin were up there doing these corny dances. They had wine up there for, I don't know, for whatever reason. It was just kind of not entertaining, if you ask me. I wouldn't have spent my money to go see that, and I would have been upset if I did spend my money to go see that, and that's what I got. So Karen was, she wanted to make sure her show was different than what Robin and Giselle put on. She tells Matt and Ray that it's Pride Month, so she's going to do a panel and she's going to talk about love and these sorts of things. And, I was with Karen up until that. But then I'm like, some of these things that Karen and Robin and Giselle, like, they're honestly, when it comes to these shows that they're doing, they're overthinking it. Coming up with panels and dances and guest performers and all that, I think what they're failing to realize is the fans don't care about that. The reason fans come to these one-woman shows that y'all are doing is because they just want to be in the presence of you. They're your fan. They love you as a housewife and a reality TV personality, and they just want to hang out with you and hear what you have to say. We don't need your friends. We don't need the guest performers. We don't need, yeah, it's fine to have someone open for you until you get ready, come out there. But here's an example, a really good example. Y'all remember Nene from Atlanta Housewives? Nene Leakes did a one-woman comedy tour of her own back in 2018, I think. I went to one of those shows that she did, and I had a great time, okay? Whoever helped Nene produce that, A+. And the difference in what Nene did versus what Robin, Giselle, and Karen did is that Nene was a standalone. She had someone open her show for her that was a comedian, but other than that, she came out on stage, she talked about her life, she talked about the show, she asked, talked to the audience, answered questions. We drank, we had a good time. She let you meet her after the show. It was like $20 to meet her. I paid it, whatever. You got to meet Nene. We talked with Greg. Rest in peace, Greg. He was there. Brent was there. And it was fun. And I think that's what Karen and Giselle and Robin are missing. Like, y'all don't have to do all the extra for your show. Just go out there and communicate with the fans, relate with them, tell them stories about how you got on the show, what it's like been filming the show. Hell, and if you're going to bring guests on, I guarantee you, fans would have appreciated it a lot more had you brought along Ashley, Candace, Mia, Wendy, Sharice, some of the other cast members, because they're there because they're fans of the show. Does that make sense? Like, I just feel like the girls are overthinking it. Like, they're trying to put on this spectacle that we just don't really need to see. Now, next scene, we see Mia and Gordon. They're in the bed with their kid. Jacqueline comes over, rings doorbell. Mia's friend, Jacqueline. Mia tells Jacqueline, according to everybody else, we're sharing my man. But in the confessional, even Mia herself says that Jacqueline, she's like our sister wife. So it's conflicting because they're like, Mia and Jacqueline are like, they're saying this and that. But at the same time, hell, y'all act like it. Y'all act like it. Gordon's sitting back like Pimp Daddy with his two hoes. So if that's what you're giving, why be mad or why be confused when people talk about it or bring it up? Mia tells Jacqueline, oops, wrong note. Sorry, y'all. Now listen. The way they all be talking, I would not doubt if Jacqueline is fucking that man. Now, I didn't say she was. I said, for me, I would not doubt if that when Mia says, hey guys, I'm going to the store. Y'all want anything? No, baby, we're good. And she goes to the store to get them something. Jacqueline's pulling her skirt up and bending over the couch. Hit it one time, Gordon. Hit it one time. I mean, listen, I would not be surprised if we woke up one day and Gordon pulls a Simon the way Simon left Fallon and brought Portia in the group. I wouldn't be surprised if Gordon flips on Mia and brings Jacqueline in the group. Now, I know they're different. I know Portia wasn't real good friends with Fallon like that, but it's way too familiar. Now, Jacqueline talks about Giselle bringing up that her and Mia showered together. Jacqueline says they think it's a sexual thing when it's not. Which part of me believes them, because look, girls they have this relationship. Not every girl, I'm not speaking for all you ladies, but a lot of girls, they have the relationship and the banter where they can get naked around one another and it's not sexual. I've been around, girls who do that. They assume that, hey, you're not attracted to me like that. I just need to change real quick, yada, yada, yada. So part of me kind of believes it. Girls aren't like men. Men be so weird about it. Oh, dude, I don't want to see your dick. I don't want straight men. So part of me believes it. But I don't know. Who knows? The world may never know, right? The world may never know. So we learned from Mia that Gordon and Mia gave her money, or maybe it was Jacqueline who said this, Anyway, we learned that Gordon and Mia gave Jacqueline money during a time when she needed help. I think they were talking about the whole Porsche conversation. And Jacqueline says, why is it a problem that during a rough time of my life when I needed help, you guys came in and helped me? I mean, look, they might as well be sister wives because it's very much giving that. And I get it. Look, they have been friends for a long time. I don't know. I'm so torn because part of me thinks it looks that way. It looks like they had this thing together with Gordon. But then again, Mia and Jacqueline have been friends for years, since they were, what, teenagers, little girls, whatever. So maybe they do have this friendship where Mia can be, or Jacqueline can be like, hey, whatever, I'm going through a rough time. And Mia's like, look, let me and Gordon help you. We're financially good. Here, you're my friend. Take some cash. Maybe that's real. I don't know. I don't know enough to just say, hey, she fucking that man. Do I think it would happen? Do I think it's possibly happened? Absolutely. Do we know? No, we don't know. We don't know, right? Now, Ashley goes out with her friends that aren't cast members, some young little friends of hers. They all go out to dinner. And then we see Giselle show up, which, speaking of Giselle, I feel like Giselle has gotten a stylist this season. Does anybody else feel that way? Because we all know Miss Giselle does not have the eye for fashion, and it's shown clearly seasons 1 through 6 with those dreadful fashions, in my Dwight Eubanks voice. Those dreadful fashions. It's shown. But this season she stepped it up. There's been a lot of looks that Giselle, I've seen her in, where she was giving little cute, cute little looks. And this dinner scene with Ashley and her friends when she comes in with that little gold getup, I thought that was really, really pretty. I did think it was odd that, Giselle, of all people, is showing up. Giselle, 55 years old, is showing up to have dinner with these group of 30-something-year-old girls. Not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm not being ageist. Look, I have a lot of friends who are older than me, 40s, 50s, and I usually enjoy hanging out with people that are older than me, just, on a mental level, versus hanging out with a bunch of 20-something-year-olds who are just a hot mess. However, I don't think organically in real life that Ashley would have invited Giselle out to hang out with her and these group of girlfriends. Why did Giselle show up? Giselle's messy. Giselle's gonna be there to stir up shit, to carry a bone, to talk about these rumors that have been going on within the group and the husbands that are allegedly flirting, right? Now, things get messy. I'm getting hot, y'all. I'm gonna have to take this jacket off. So things get messy when they bring up the spring fling. Y'all remember early on in the season, Karen had the spring fling party or whatever the hell, just a party just to have a party to be filmed pretty much. And they bring that up and they have Ashley's friend there on purpose. Remember Ashley's friend that was also at the spring fling who said that Mike, and at one point Ashley said it was her nanny, I think, at the beginning of the season. Anyway, this friend was the one who said that that Chris Bassett was giving her the eyes. That friend. So they got her there on purpose to bring up her surviving Chris Bassett story. Because evidently they tried to make Chris out to be a Michael Darby. That's what it's giving. Now, Ashley's friend says, I was looking straight on and I can just feel, how you can feel when someone out of the corner of your eye, you can just see when someone's looking at you. That's what Chris Bassett was doing to me. And production rolls back receipts of Miss Thang sitting at the bar and Chris Bassett looking nowhere near her. Chris Bassett on his phone. And then, she talks about what Chris said to her, some of the conversations that they had. They roll receipts for that. And I mean, the things that it showed that Chris was saying didn't seem bad to me. Just seemed like a man, talking to a girl at the bar in a respectful tone. A married man talking to a girl at the bar. I never heard Chris say anything out of the way, inappropriate. Did y'all? Am I missing something? Because, I'll be watching these episodes and taking notes. So if I miss something, y'all please put it in the comments and let me know. Then Miss Thang, Ashley's friend with them eyebrows. And I know my brows don't look the best right now, but Miss Thang had them eyebrows drew on, okay? She had them drew the fuck on. Then she tries calling out Eddie by calling him Happy Eddie. She said Eddie sure was smiling at her. Happy Eddie. And I'm like, the man can't smile? I mean, we at a party, we're drinking, we're dancing, we're having a good time. Usually you smile. I don't know. I feel like Deborah is reaching, and that's her name, Deborah. And she's very much giving a Deborah, if you ask me. Deborah acting like everybody wants her. And I'm just like, no, Deborah. I know y'all sitting at a restaurant, please have every seat in there. Because you are doing the most. You are looking for a moment. Your mouth is very dry and you're thirsty and you need a glass and a gulp quick. Because it's giving, I want to be the 8th housewife. And you ain't getting a damn fluke. What do they hold? Because it's called a fluke or a flute. You ain't getting a champagne glass, bitch. So sit the fuck down. Doing way too much. Now, I'm not saying that these men are innocent, that these men didn't do anything. These men didn't give her the googly eyes. Chris or Eddie wasn't smiling at her. I'm not saying any of that by any means. But why, if this really happened, why come on a show and talk about it and bring it up? That's where you get me. That's where I kind of look at you funny, because if you felt some type of way about these women's husbands looking at you, talking to you, smiling at you, you would have pulled your friend Ashley to the side and say, hey girl, look, next time you have an event and you invite me and there's cameras and y'all are doing all this stuff, let me know, because last time girls' husbands were looking at me and I don't know if they were trying to be flirty with me, but I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to get involved in nobody's marriage or rumors, nothing like that. Something along those lines. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Like, the fact that you got dressed, showed up in front of cameras, sat down with this girl, and brought up out your mouth that, oh yeah, he was staring at me. It's giving very much thirst bucket. And Ashley, you're not innocent either, because you brought this girl onto the show. You probably coached her and said, girl, you need to come on the show and bring this up. You need to bring this up. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be messy. This is gonna get the attention off of me and Michael and what we got going on. See, this is the thing about Ashley. Ashley is a ghost producer. Y'all notice how in Miami she got in the car and she recorded on her iPhone when Candace went off on Robin for bringing that stuff up at the dinner table. Ashley had that camera rolling, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, because she's doing her job and she's clocking in. But at what extent? Because now it seems like you're purposely trying to do things to hurt people. You know, it's one thing to pull your camera out and record stuff because you know the cameras aren't there to record it. It's another thing to bring a girl on the show that you know who's saying that she's got these rumors and things because you want some mess to get started that could potentially harm a family. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, all jokes aside, all reality TV aside, you bringing this girl on the show without any proof, like they haven't fucked. She's not saying they had sex in a hotel room after the reunion. She's not saying, you know, this man grabbed my ass when we were at the spring fling party. She's saying that he looked at her. He smiled at her. Girl, bye. Like, ain't nobody studying your ass. Can we be honest for a minute? Can we be honest just for a minute? I don't think Chris Bassett had malicious intentions. I really don't. Do I think Chris has probably got drunk a few times? You know, probably got drunk a few times. And I don't know. Maybe he said something inappropriate. I don't know. I don't think he's ever done anything to make these women feel like crazy uncomfortable, because the things that they're saying that he's doing, like, for instance, Michael Darby was grabbing ass. Those are things that you want to, like, whoa. But the fact that, like, this man is smiling at you, Giselle says he brought her in a hotel room. Okay, I can see where maybe you felt a little uncomfortable. Hey, open the door. We shouldn't do this. Okay, I give you the pass on that a little bit, Giselle. But maybe he was just drinking and not thinking. Maybe he thinks that me and you are close enough that we can go in here and have a discussion without anybody thinking anything. I think that they needed a sacrificial lamb for the season. They needed somebody to go after, so they have a storyline. And Chris Bassett was the culprit. I mean, we went after Jamal. You know, Juan's been gone after. Um, who's else's husband? Shit. Jamal, Bryant, Juan Dixon's husband has gone after. I can't even think all of them. Had they gone after Ray? I think they tried to go after Ray at one point, didn't they? Um, shit. I can't think of all of them right now. Now, Giselle conveniently brought this up about Chris. She brings up the whole, while they're at dinner with Ashley and her little friends, she brings up the whole Chris situation. And then we get another scene with Wendy. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I had like a total moment. I was looking at my notes. We get a scene with Wendy talking to her husband, Eddie. And Eddie, she's pretty much like, so I had dinner with Ashley the other day, and Ashley tells me that her friend said you were being flirtatious with her. And Eddie says, well, what was I doing to be flirtatious? And Wendy says, you want to know what you were doing? You were smiling. And Eddie says, well, goddamn, I just ain't even gonna smile no more. And I mean, like I said, I have to agree with them. Like, y'all got to come with more than this. These men can't even smile and be happy around y'all. Like, damn, can y'all not stand to see a happy couple, a happy marriage, a successful man and woman, or whatever, a union? Y'all can't stand to see these people be happy. You need something to talk about. You need drama. You need something for the episode. You want to get called back next season. So whatever you can bring up, whatever you can say. It's sad. Like, to be honest, I've always liked Ashley, but she's doing a lot this season. She's always been messy, but she's really standing in her mess. She's like owning the messiness. She's wearing the crown big time. Now, then we see Giselle, boring Robin, and Mia meet up for lunch. I'm to the point, I'm just like, why is Robin here? Why are y'all still inviting her places? Why is she on the payroll? She brings nothing. Her and Juan are never going to get married. That's her roommate. Juan don't even like women, allegedly. Like, come on. And I ain't trying to, I'm just like, when I say that about Juan, I'm talking about him and Michael Darby's friendship and what he's going through right now at Coppin State University when a young boy allegedly told him, hey, the assistant coach is doing some things he shouldn't be doing, and Juan swept it under the rug. So I'll be looking at Juan Dixon a little funny. Now, Giselle tells Mia that Karen said Mia looked up Jacqueline's pussy. Let me say that again. Now, Giselle tells Mia that Karen told me that you was looking up your best friend Jacqueline, or your sister wife Jacqueline's pussy. Yes. Y'all know Giselle gonna carry a bone wherever she can carry a bone. Now, Giselle says, why didn't you tell us about you sleeping with Peter's girlfriend? Did she say she slept with Peter's girlfriend? Or did Mia sleep with Peter's girlfriend? I missed that part. I think she said that Jacqueline did. Anyway, Mia says she didn't say it because it didn't come up at the dinner. That's why she didn't bring it up. But she says she's not telling Karen shit anymore. And that Karen would be pissed if she told all y'all the real reason that she didn't want to be around Charisse. And I'm like, please do tell us, Mia, what is the real reason that Karen doesn't want to be around Charisse? I want to know. Do y'all know at home why Karen don't want to be around Charisse? I've got my theories, but that's for a whole nother review and another episode. So now that all that's over, the whole flirtiness and Mia looking up Jacqueline's pussy, it's time for Karen's live show. They're getting ready for Karen's live show. And Ashley brings her messy friend along. Of course. And I'm just like, Deborah, you in danger, girl. Because if you showing up to this live show and you want to try it with Candace, you trying the right one. Because Candace is not the one. Candace will read your ass down so bad for filth, you'll go home thinking about it and contemplating suicide, you miss thing. Like, them words will get to you. And Candace is a snipe when it comes to them words. You'll think you fine, and all of a sudden, in the neck, you out, because Candace's words. And I used to not like Candace, but this season I'm really feeling her. I don't know what it is. Did they just give her a likable edit, or did Candace just change? I don't know what it is. And Ashley's friend Deborah, she just looks like a snake, y'all. She's giving snake to me. Okay. We see Candace getting ready to go to the live show. She's got her mother there with her, Dorothy. And you know what I was thinking? What, can we get Dorothy full-time? Can we get Dorothy as a full-time housewife? It'd be the first ever mother-daughter housewife duo. And I don't know. I really love to see it. I feel like Miss Dorothy would read the girls down. Do y'all want to see Miss Dorothy on the show? I really like her. I want to see her on the show. Now, not to compare Giselle and Robin's show to Karen's show, but let's face it, the show is kind of comparing the two. I will say, just right off the bat, Karen's show is already getting... I'd rather go see her show than Robin and Giselle's, because if you notice, Karen's show has like a little bar, restaurant, lounge area that you can go sit and eat at before you go to the show. We see the girls ordering drinks, eating. This is some improv studio. And I'm like, yeah, I'd much rather go see Karen's show. Now, one of the girls brings up a video that Charisse posted in the group chat, and it's in Miami. And Karen is dancing on a bar, and her titties hanging out. You know, Karen, obviously, in her confessional said something about it. You know, how Charisse had the nerve to do that or whatever. I think they're setting up the drama for next week, because they go to Mexico next week. And I think the fact that Charisse did this is going to give Karen a reason to bring it up. This is going to give Karen a reason, from a producer standpoint, this is going to give Karen a reason to bring up something to Charisse next week and get some shit started, I think. But I will say, can we just acknowledge how good Karen looked? To be a 60-something-year-old, is she 60-something? I think she's 60-something. 60-something years old, standing on a bar in Miami with her nipple hanging out. She looked good. I mean, that could be somebody's grandma. And Karen looks good. She don't look her age at all. Now, Giselle brings up that Charisse was sour because she wasn't invited to Karen's event. And I'm like, why would you be sour? Why would you be sour? You and Karen are not friends, Charisse, so why would she invite you to her event? Like, that made no sense to me. Ashley brings up Mia looking up Jacqueline's vagina. And Jacqueline says, oh, you mean when I had a yeast infection? Child, I was like, damn. I think we need Jacqueline back next season, because at least she's real, in my opinion. She ain't thinking, well, these cameras are here, what should I, she's a loose cannon, and she's just going to say what she got to say. I kind of like Jacqueline. I want her back next season. I want her back. I really, really do. Now, Mia brings up Karen running her mouth. And she again alludes to, well, I know why Karen doesn't want to be around Charisse. And it's like, Mia, stop bringing it up unless you're going to say it. Because we want to know, why does she not want Charisse around? Mia keeps bringing this up. And then Robin goes over to Candace and she says, hey, girl, you know that girl over there is the one who said that your man was looking at her and being flirty with her. And it's like, oh, shit. Now, Candace says, I do not acknowledge Sesame Street characters. And the girl kind of does look like a Sesame Street character. That's the real tea. That's the real shade, is that the girl kind of does look like Oscar the Grouch that's down in, like, the trash can. Like, I think she's got his eyebrows. She really does look like a Muppets character. And I ain't even trying to be mean, but she was not very likable, this girl, to come on camera and to try to get her 5 minutes of fame by saying that these men were smiling at her. Okay. Now, another thing about Candace is I have to give it to her. Everything we've seen from Candace this season, as far as reading a bitch down and sniping them, it's warranted. They're all coming for her. Everybody's coming for her. Did you know your husband? Did you know your... Like, y'all know what you're doing. So don't be surprised when you get that wrath. Because y'all know how Candy Gal comes. Y'all seen how that mouth is. Now, Karen's show starts, and she's got a comedian opening for her as the first act. The comedian doesn't seem that funny. Karen comes out, You know, she talks for a few minutes and it's so random because she says, let me just say this. Pride, baby. And I'm like, okay. Like, I know it's Pride Month, but you didn't advertise this event. Is it a Pride event, Karen? You know, it was a little confusing. And then she has Jasmine Masters come out and do a drag performance. And I'm like Mia. Mia said, I thought this was Karen's show. You know, I thought that's like, and I know it's the evening. It's the show is called An Evening with the Grand Dame and Friends. And I get that. But like I said earlier, if you're going to do that, you should have brought out the Housewives. Had the Housewives there. I mean, they were already in the audience. I would have just had them on a panel or had them up there because that's what the fans are there for. They're not there for Jasmine Masters. They're not there for the comedian that opened for you. They're there for Housewives. We all know that Housewives has a cult following, right? It's like football. Now, Karen, according to the editors, they put that Karen literally was only on the stage for like 4 or 5 minutes. The rest of the show, she's got Jasmine Masters doing stuff, the comedian doing stuff, and then she says, does anybody in the audience want to ask the ladies some questions? Karen, they're there for you. Why would they want to ask them questions? They're there for you, darling. Now, I love you, Karen, but we want to talk to you. And next time you produce a show, Karen, call me. Don't call Matt. No shade, Matt, but you did a terrible job at producing this. You did a terrible job at producing this. Now, during the Q&A with the audience, Mia decides to stand up and ask her question. Y'all know how Mia does. With them lips. And Mia says, what do you do when you share something with a friend of yours and she runs her mouth and tells your friends? Karen says, whatever I said about you, Mia, it's the truth. Now, look, I know they need drama and mess for the show, but in my opinion, it was rude for Mia to do that. And had that been me, I would have been pissed. I probably would have cussed her ass out on the microphone, but I know Karen was trying to keep it together and keep it classy. But in real life, I know it's not real life, but had I spent my money and booked this venue and did all this hard work to put on this show, and one of my friends comes, gets in the audience, and during the Q&A brings up some drama or some bullshit that's going on within our friend group, I'd be pissed. It was tacky and it was rude, Mia, and you should have waited until after the show and pulled her aside if you really wanted to. No, you shouldn't even pull her aside. You should have waited the next day or said, pulled her aside at the end of the show and said, hey, girl, can we have lunch tomorrow? I want to talk to you about some things. Don't ruin her night. That's her night. That would have been like Karen coming to your joint chiropractic opening and, you know, saying, ding, 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 on her wine glass. Attention, everybody. Mia, I want to know why you were talking shit about, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just certain things you don't do. Etiquette, okay? Now, Ashley's messy ass decides to introduce the Sesame Street character to Candace. Candace inquires to the girl about, you know, well, yeah, you said my man flirted with you, so what happened? And the Sesame Street character tries to embarrass Candace, you know, and talking in circles. Well, you know, he was looking at me and my friend saw it too. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Like, come on. You're looking for your moment. And to be quite honest, her friend Deborah, you got lucky, Deborah, because most of the times Karen would have laid into your ass. Not Karen, Candace. Candace would have laid into you. Verbally assaulted you so bad. But I guess you got her on a good day. And it was just sad to watch because this girl, like, you're so ugly on the inside and out, Deborah. And it's showing, Miss Mamas. It really is. For you to come on TV with those eyebrows acting like this, did you really think you were going to get a full-time spot on this show? The producers, because they push you out there and say, go bring it up, go bring it up. You really thought, okay, they put the battery in my back. Let me go out here and get my spot on the show. Let me get my check. No, baby. It's not happening. It's not happening. Now, when the show is over, here goes Ashley trying to get Candace to talk to the Muppet. Hey Candace, do you want to talk to Deborah real quick? Maybe you guys can clear the air. For what, Ashley? For what? No, she doesn't want to talk to the girl who accused her husband of flirting with her. Why the fuck would she want to do that? And there goes Ashley again. Ashley sitting back like this. Stirring the motherfucking pot. It's overkill, Ashley. You're obviously trying to produce the show. And I love how Candace paid the Muppet dust. Because Deborah the Muppet says, Candace, you don't want to talk to me before you go? And she says, no, ma'am, I don't. Pays her dust. Like, she doesn't even give her the attention that she wants, which I think was a smart move. Because Candace, like I said, could have laid into her, but I think Candace knows if I do that, that means they're going to have 2 cameras on us, and this is going to play out. And then it's going to play out for next week, because it's going to be a cliffhanger. I'm not giving that hoe that. And I applaud you for that. You did the right thing, Candace. Now, next week, they're going to Mexico, and I'm like, damn, didn't we just get back from Miami? Like, literally. But hey, I'm here for it. They're going on their final cast trip of the season. They're going to Mexico, and it's going to be a juicy one. I think we get to see Jacqueline versus Mia and see the breakdown of their friendship. Then we're going to see Karen versus Charisse, and I think we're going to get down to the bottom of why Karen doesn't want Charisse around. And we also get to see that big blowout that we saw in the trailer when Karen and Charisse go at it, and Karen says, God damn it, don't you talk about my motherfucking mother. And then we see Charisse doing all this and that. Like, I'm here for it. And I'm ready for it. Anyways, I would love to hear what you guys have to think or have to say about this episode. Whose side are you on? Ashley and the Muppet side or Candace's side? Also, what did you think of Karen's live one-woman show, The Grand Dame, An Evening with the Grand Dame and Friends? And whose show would you buy a ticket to? Robin and Giselle's Reasonably Shady live podcast or Karen Huger's the Grand Dame and Friends show? Which show? I'm curious to see which ticket you would buy for which show. And just overall, what did you think about this episode? Join the conversation by chiming in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button right below this video. And last but not least, like the video by giving us a thumbs up, because that helps the video get shared throughout the YouTube community. I love you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See ya.